97.9 GRD, I am Tommy Carroll, getting to hang out with Brian Head Welsh from Korn. It's great to see you.
You too, man. Glad to rock again. Chevelle's in the background playing live right now.
Now, my last arena show was when Korn came to town at Van Andel Arena.
Your last show?
Yeah, because remember the pandemic started not long after that.
Our first one back?
Yeah. And so you guys, it was you guys and Breaking Benjamin, and then there was a moment not long after that where I thought that may be my last arena show because it was the unknown from the pandemic and stuff. When that hit, you guys are a made band. You guys have been there a long time, where it's not as maybe as hurtful to you guys, but the thing that your art that you get to showcase, all of a sudden you don't get to showcase it for a while. What were you going through when you guys realized, hey, we got to shut down camp for a bit?
I mean, it was very it was a mixed feeling for me because on one hand, like I was home and I had a new place that I purchased, so I had to move in. So I had nothing but time. I could take my time. I didn't have to rush because I had a tour in a month, you know? So that was good. And so I just enjoyed myself at home. On the other side of that, I'm like, what's happening with the world? I've never seen anything like this. And then the riots happened, the race wars and all that stuff. And I'm just like, dude, this is not good. This is the worst year I've seen in my lifetime as far as the world, you know. And so that was it. It was a mixture of like really peaceful time and, you know, and just like kind of fear of where the world's going.
You know, having family and stuff, you know, for me, I spent a lot more time with my little circle of family. Is that something that you got to do as well, and spend some time with just those people in that inner circle?
Exactly. You know, it was my house and my daughter and a little bit of music on the side and homemaking. That was it, you know, because my family's little. I mean, you know, I got my folks back in California. I went and visited. Once the fear kind of calmed down and we got to like July, August, started getting together with the guys a little bit. And Jonathan lives literally 10 minutes from my parents. So it was like hanging out with everybody. I was very careful. I wore masks everywhere on the planes, and the airports were a ghost town. There was nobody flying. So I'm sitting there on a plane with like 7 people and I got a mask on. I'm golden.
Now, did you ever think for a moment that maybe we won't get to come back from this? Did it ever kind of cross your mind at all?
That we're not going back to normal, but a different form of normal? Yeah, I totally do. I tell you what, I feel like that I want to have sanitizer with me more just because of germs, you know. I just kind of got used to it. And, you know, some friends have been trying to get me to use hand sanitizer for a long time. I've gotten sick a lot, you know, in the past on tours and whatnot. So I'm thinking, man, it's changed for me, but I guess we're going to see in 2022 what the real deal is as far as touring Europe, going worldwide. What's that going to look like? And if it's going to be just, you know, we're just in a new phase of life, you know, with the world. So that's something that I'm looking forward to discovering how that's going to look, you know?
You know, when you see some of the other countries like China and Japan, they've kind of been doing some of that before all this happened. I noticed that I didn't get sick at all. And so I just kept wiping down the studio, you know, where we work at and stuff. I'm still doing that stuff. It didn't go away. That's why you have all that stuff here, is to make people feel comfortable. But I'm still doing it. And I think there is something to not getting colds, like you said, by still maybe wearing a mask at certain times of the year, and the hand sanitizer and stuff like that, and the wipes, you know. So there is something to that.
Let me tell you a story real quick.
Go ahead, man.
So we played in like Japan and, you know, Asia over the years, right? And we see the masks everywhere. About 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So our Asian fans start asking us, you know, you should make a Korn mask.
Yeah.
So we make a Korn mask like 2 years before COVID.
Yeah.
We're the only band, one of the only bands. So what happens is the pandemic hits and we get hit up by some, I forget the news site, like USA Today or someone did a story that we're trying to profit off the pandemic. We had the masks 2 years before the pandemic. They were just in the merch store. And next thing you know, every artist and every freaking company has a mask with their logo on it. We did it because our fans asked us for it in other countries. And they didn't even do a story to retract their judgment of us. We told them too, look, and they didn't even retract it. They just ignored it. So
Well, hey, real quick, without getting into all the details, man, how's Fieldy doing?
Fieldy is good, man. He's at home and he's with his kids. I want to say that Fieldy is he's a good dad. He's a good dude, and he has his life like structured. You know, the bad habits he talked about in the press, those are, you know, everyone does, you know, has their issues in life, but those he'll work on in his own way. But that dude is I look up to him as a dad. Actually, he's had 5 kids. He always says I got 2,000 kids because it feels like it some days, but he's a good dad. But you know, he's gone through a lot, man, personally. And he just needs some time off to reflect on himself and his family. That's it.
You know, I know you guys are all brothers, and he's a core part of the sound of you guys from day one, you know? How hard is it when you got to, like, kind of have that talk, you know? Because you are close, but still, sometimes those things can get weird. And we've all maybe been on the other end of that at one point or another.
Dude, no judgment at all to anyone. I was the worst, you know, with addiction. So it's nothing like that. It's just... you know, it's all good vibes. There's no negative vibes as far as like no hard feelings on either side. So it's just it's all good, man. Just taking time. That dude I think him and Jonathan and Monkey have gone 26 years with like hardly any breaks, man. You know, with a record cycle and a tour. I got 8 years off. So I'm like rested and I come back. I'm like looking, hopefully looking at Fieldy like he's just going to take a break, man, and get recharged. Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay, well, you got, Rod Diaz from Suicidal Tendencies coming in. When something like this happens, do you got like a bunch of guys you know, or did you do some auditions? You go, hey, man, Rock can do it, man.
Well, there's COVID and everything, so it's like, you know, when we start talking about it, it was a thing where we got to, you know, we want to be careful still and whatnot. Because it was a few months ago or whatever, and so we just started brainstorming and hitting up friends and whatnot, and you know, we need the slap, need the slap bass, we need the finger playing, we need someone, because Fieldy's very unique, and so it just kind of happened that way, man. Where Ra was he was open because Suicidal's not going out till next year. I think Mike Muir has like a back surgery or something this year. So it just worked out, man. And he came down, we jammed, and he's really humble guy, really just very talented. He can play anything. Remember, like jazz to slap to anything, man. And so he played all the songs with like 3 mistakes out of 10 songs or something, little mistakes, and not even mistakes. It was just like, I thought I heard it that way. They weren't even mistakes, and so we're like, okay, you got it down.
Well, let's talk a little new music for a second. I know you guys did the cover of the Charlie Daniels Band song, Devil Went Down to Georgia, and I heard some talk about some other covers, and you guys are always writing and doing stuff, so maybe what may be on the horizon? Are you guys just touring right now and easing back into it?
Yeah, we're just going to tour right now. You know, we got cut short with our the Nothing album cycle was halfway. We were just barely getting kicked off when pandemic hit. So we want to continue on that before any new music comes out. And we're still working on stuff, and we got to have you know, we love albums. We love bands. We listen to bands and artists that have full albums, you know, screw the single stuff and all, you know. I love it. We're from the same generation.
Well, they hear me say that all the time. He goes, I want a band not with write one song with some writer. I want an album they wrote and did, you know?
Yeah, that's how we are too. We're
to back.
Yes, that's the way. Remember when we had to wait for and then like I remember Metallica and Justice for All, they put the 60 days and then the countdown every day at the record store. Man. Every day at the record store, man. It was like, and that's exciting, man. And those days are gone, but you know, we love doing the full length. So we gotta gather material and make sure we have a good album in place, you know. And so maybe writing some more and whatnot. So we're just going with the flow.
Well, we got a mutual friend. I've known Nick Raskulenix from way back when he used to live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, really? You from Knoxville?
No, but the guy I used to play with, my singers around here somewhere, they used to be roommates. I remember walking into his mom's house when I first met him the first time, and his mom's wearing a Rush t-shirt, and I goes, Nick, you have the coolest mom ever. I've never seen a girl that liked Rush.
Right? Man, she must be talented or an artsy type of person. That's rad. I wish my mom was wearing Rush t-shirts. But no, I like my mom the way she is.
But are you guys maybe going to still you guys done the last couple records with Nick? I didn't know maybe if that was something that you guys may continue.
Man, he's so talented. We love working with him, but he sucks at answering text messages. It's like we're the musicians. We're supposed to blow people off, and he blows us off. Nick sucks at answering texts. So, no, but we had 2 albums with him, and, we're just, we're kind of sticking to ourselves right now and writing because we have our own studio, and then we're going to bring in a producer to, like, shape things up and whatnot. But, yeah, probably we're going to try something different this record, but I bet you we work with Nick in the future. We just gel so well with him, and he's the coolest fan of music. He's just like, he doesn't seem like a producer. He just seems like a fan of music that is really talented. He doesn't make you feel like, he's up here and you're down there or whatever. It's just like, let's jam. Yeah. He's just like, let's jam. And he has to either be playing a guitar or a bass or have a drumstick in his hand. Yeah. So he's going like this while we're jamming. He has to be a part of it.
Well, he gets inside the song like you are, and that's important because that's the 6th man to any band,
Yep. I call him him and his engineer. I call him Cheech and Bong because they may or may have not hit the bong a little bit in the past. I don't know about right now.
It's usually about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. He likes to take an ear break. He'll do 50 minutes and take a break or smoke break or whatever.
Yep. I got to visit him and see what he's up to now. As we get older, though, I think people change a lot, and who knows? He's probably like freaking vegan, like 130 pounds, and healthy as a swimmer.
I got one last question for you because you guys are always evolving, and with record labels and stuff, is there going to be something more evolving because you have a catalog? So are you going to take more ownership of everything as you move forward? Because the music's different now, and we've seen you guys kind of take changes in that side of the industry before. Before the label that you're on now, that or whatever. But so is there going to be something that's going to change on the business side of things for you guys?
Man, things change so fast in the business sense. It's like kind of don't really know, man. We're really open to technology and the way things are changing in the music industry or whatnot. We just released the NFT. And so I personally love crypto. I love that. I think it's a future. I think that we're gonna go over to DeFi financing and whatnot, and just so the banks just kind of like just get us all, man. They take our money and go invest it, while we're like, I can get into that, but as far as the music industry, we love technology and we love the futuristic changes. We're not one of those, because we entered our 50s and we don't want to be one of those, that are just like stuck in the past. We want to move forward. So that's what we're trying to do, and I don't know. We'll see what happens with whatever makes the most sense, because things are changing so quick. It's hard to say.
Well, Brian, I so much appreciate the time, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Right. One of my personal all-time favorites. I've been here from that first record. I remember seeing you guys at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit way back when. I'm like going, oh my God, this is so cool. Dude, and then when you guys went out with Ozzy that time, man. I saw you guys at the Palace. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Like Ozzy fans were... we had some of this in the front row. Yeah. Like all these dreadlock dudes up there shaking their hair around. They didn't know what to think, but as the tour got halfway through, the word started getting out, and we got accepted a lot more. So we love Ozzy, man. That was a dream come true to open for him.
Because seeing you guys at St. Andrews Hall back in the day, then opening for Ozzy at the Palace, and then seeing you headline the Palace with Stained opening, that was my first radio gig.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, you've been in a
long time, man.
You've been in the business a long time like us.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping rock music alive, bro.
We will continue.
Come on. We got to get this younger generation to get this metal genre pumped up again. I mean, it is, but at the festival, you can see the festivals, metal is alive and kicking.